Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the One More Thing Tech podcast. As always, I'm your host, Quasi.
And I'm Adam.
And for some reason, my hands are like this today. I don't know. I feel like usually I'm like, welcome. But I just kind of sat here like this. I'm not entirely sure what's going on.
It's okay.
But nevertheless, we're recording on a Wednesday this time, which is
we had some complications this week. And not just we, Quasi, like almost everybody.
It seemed like the entire world had some complications.
Yeah.
And,
this has happened before, too, if that's not something that people realize. But we're talking about the AWS Outage.
But...
Oh, yes, there was. It was massive. It was just like this. I don't think as many places were affected, but it was about the same issue, basically. So what we're talking about, everybody, is the Amazon Web Service AWS outage. Now, you may have noticed on Monday, pretty much until about 7 p.m. Central, that everything was not working for the most part with many different services. This is one reason why we couldn't record on Monday, because it was completely out. And we had issues across like Netflix and across, Fortnite was down. Various different platforms were down, including some of the things at our campus too. So that was a very, very long and fun day working in IT. But, Quasi, imagine working in AWS that day. Imagine it's your first day at AWS.
If it was my first
in
day.
this department. That would be a little rough.
Resigning on the first day. I would have resigned.
And they were from like 12 a.m. until 7 p.m., roughly, in that time scope of there being outages.
Bad.
And it affected everything. And it gets to the point where it's scary because so many services rely on Amazon to function. And I just think that this has happened about 3 or 4 times, to my understanding, where it's a mass outage like this. They need to have something in place to migrate services over to a different sector that's not having an outage. Because this is like Amazon East that was really getting affected here. And there's more to it. But Quasi, do you want to kind of give some people, I guess the biggest question people were asking about this is what caused it? What Amazon caused things? And there are some, they tried their best to hide what really happened. And it's nothing crazy. It's nothing that like someone hacked them or they're DDoS. It's not that. So Quasi, you want to tell the audience kind of exactly what it was that kind of caused, and not to get too technical, but just to give them a broader idea.
Right. So I'm pretty sure that it was just the DNS is what I saw when I was watching the news. The DNS just had a bad update,
Yes. Before that, though, what's to say before that in this article that we have here?
It's in the article? All right, give me a second here.
It's second paragraph towards the end of it, under what we know.
Under what we know.
Sorry, guys. I kind of threw under the bus here a little bit. The
problem started in one of AWS's main data centers in Virginia, its oldest and biggest site. After a technical update to the API, a connection between different computer programs of DynamoDB, a key cloud database service that stores user information and other important data for many online platforms. And this is from Al Jazeera.
Yeah. Well, this is a site I've never seen before in my entire life, but they're the only site that gave what happened. No one else wants to say what happened, but them. And they did mention this in their outage health page for a little bit, and they took it away. So someone probably told them what really happened, and they don't want to really say it. And I don't know why. This is not something that's like, Jim came in with a DDoS software and caused some issues. But as Quasi said, it's basically their Dynamo database connection with an update to DNS, and that as a whole caused all these issues. And it took down computers, it took down networks, it took down a bunch of different databases, which makes everything work. And that's not good. I mean, just
Did you know that DoorDash was down? And some
Ooh,
people's like, so obviously Amazon was down. So any Amazon smart home things you had connected, they went down. So you couldn't get into your house, right? And that would really suck if like you didn't have your manual key, your physical key on you, because you're so reliant on being able to go outside or use your phone, and then you're just stuck in the Chicago cold. Not that it was like 32 degrees or anything, but it was
in the
pretty
wind.
cold. Yeah, in the wind. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I have
The-
to go on a tangent here.
Go ahead.
Um, Yesterday, I know I told you this as we were walking in, but I really feel like the people have to know. Yesterday, it was the first day this year that had a feels like temperature. And well, I guess not the first day this year, but the first day this school year, I guess. Because obviously the year had started in January and it was definitely below 32 in January. That's not the point. The point is we had practice yesterday and the feels like temperature was 32 degrees, right? It feels like that because here in Illinois, the wind just cuts through everything, right? So I was freezing at practice. Not just that, right? The really unfortunate part was that we started practicing. We're in the middle of warm ups, and then I feel a drop of rain. I look up. The overcast isn't just an overcast, Adam.
It's far more.
It seemed as if God was opening the floodgates, and it just started raining. Mind you, Coach doesn't believe in going inside unless we're about to get struck by lightning, and there was no lightning in sight. I was very cold yesterday, is what I'm trying to say.
And the wind and the wet makes it even worse, you know? It's
It's
not.
just horrible.
That's
It's just
really what
horrible.
it comes down to. So, like, if we had in the winter month just no wind, like just take wind.exe out of the equation, we would have way less
I
worse weather.
I definitely think it'd actually be nice outside. Or
Yeah.
not nice because it's cold, but like I could deal with the snow and stuff then. It's
Yes.
just I so I, let me tell you guys one more thing. I have this thing called a windbreaker, right? Last year I put on this windbreaker and I had this hoodie underneath it. And this hoodie is wool, right? It's a very thick hoodie with wool. I put on the windbreaker because I was like, okay, this one's gonna be insulation and the windbreaker is gonna stop like the wind. So I'm not gonna be cold and the wind isn't gonna come through. Either the brand I bought from doesn't know how to make a windbreaker or it just doesn't matter out here. And I think it's the latter, unfortunately. I truly think that it doesn't matter if you have a windbreaker or not.
Well, I think here's the reason why. We don't have wind that comes from one direction. It could come like up from the very bottom, you know?
Yeah, no, the wind just
Excuse me.
decides where it wants to come from at all
So
times.
there's that. But in the winter time, if it was like a little gust of wind to like, help just move things around, that's one thing. But we have like someone turn on a leaf blower and it's the size of the state. Like
Mm,
that's the wind we have. It's constant like you see those pictures sometimes in the past, like people leaning forward and like in the storms because it's so windy,
yeah,
and like they could probably just like let go and still be floating. Like that's how we have wind sometimes, and it's not just because of Chicago. It's like Canada is where it all comes from. Chicago's just a segue,
I
It's
think
all
the
Canada.
more thing is that there's like no it's all plains in the Midwest.
There's
So
nothing
there's like
stopping it.
nothing stopping the
Yes. It's almost like you want to eat outside sometimes because it gets so bad, especially in the wintertime. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things that like here's the thing. I've seen people, this gets me. I've seen people on campus in the wintertime and fall where they get an open cup of coffee from Starbucks or their house and walk into like, our location where we're at IT. What a risk that is. So many things can happen. A bird can target that cup for obvious reasons. Things could fall in it. A branch could fall. Whatever could happen. Even like a ladybug at this point. You have a lot of those too, or the Asian beetles rather. But like, why would someone do that? Have you seen this, Quasey? I've seen it way too much.
of
Without a lid, why would you do that? I
so
don't get
it's clear
this.
that they just don't care about their personal well-being.
But that's like $6 or $7 cup of coffee or milkshake, whatever you want to call it. it's so much that you don't want to do that. You want to probably drink that. I don't
Mm,
know. It's one of those things.
indeed. Um,
Okay, anyway,
yeah,
sorry.
sorry,
Back
back
to
on
AWS.
topic.
It's okay. We go off topic a lot here. Anyway, this caused mass chaos, mass issues, and the issue is I think they have to figure out a way to combat this faster. I know moving services to another section of the country is a lot of work to do that, but it's far less time I have to imagine than, almost 12 hours of outages. So, am I blaming them for this? Things happen. Nothing's a perfect world. I realize that. I just think this time it took them a little bit longer than I anticipated them to get this fixed. Because I saw in the early morning, like about 4 in the morning when I got up, that they were like working on a fix and they expected to be fixed within the hour. So I'm like, okay, by 5 a.m., things are going to be back up. And then when operations are normal, we're good. Oh no, they were still working on it. So they identified the issues early on, which is good. But the fix was just not fast. And that's what they got to work on, I think. This is why I'm bringing it up to everybody. And we kind of want to let you guys know what the issue was. As of today, which is Wednesday for us, for recording day, it's all back in functioning. So there's still some residual issues yesterday morning that were kind of fixed before 1 a.m. So it was small little things. It wasn't affecting a lot of things. Just it was more slow responses from the servers. So is there any more you want to mention this, Quasi? I guess what services do you know of, Quasi, besides DoorDash that were down in
Amazon,
Amazon?
Apple TV, Chime, FanDuel. Not that I use FanDuel, I just heard it was down. Fortnite, Google, Grubhub, Hulu, Lyft. There's just a plethora. The New York Times was
Wow,
down. Netflix was down. PlayStation servers were down. Reddit was down. Ring was down. Roku, Snapchat, just
it is
Verizon,
crazy.
some Verizon services. And
So I just want to get some stats before we end this topic, though. So there was roughly 11 million services across the United States that were having issues. It's a lot. And 395 companies specifically that have these services were having issues. And over $150 million worth of company losses because they were down. Now,
that's
how are they
crazy.
going to combat that? And I know they had the funds to maybe give them their money back and stuff, but that's a big issue. That's a huge issue.
Indeed.
That's what we're going to follow up on. We're going to see what happens with this because are people going to sue Amazon? There's going to be, I don't know. Because there's certain things that we know of that just can't be done, like a hospital system or whatever. And I'm not sure if they're affected or not. That's what's scary about this. So things are going
Oh,
to
wait,
software as
my
a service.
bank, Navy Federal was also down. I just
Ooh,
put that out. I like
yeah.
could not check my bank account. Not that there's anything in there, but I wanted to check it.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, that's some stats about what happened. So that one happened on Monday. As now we're back up and we're good. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna let Kwesi bring this next one up. This is a segue into what we've seen happen with Apple. And it's a great thing, I think.
Okay, so this summer, right? Apple released what I personally think was the movie of the summer, which was F1, right? And now it appears that F1 races are coming exclusively to Apple TV in the US. So now when you type in F1 to your Apple TV, you're not going to see the hit movie. You're going to see a bunch of live races and you're going to be like, "Hey, what whatchamacallit? What am I watching here? This isn't the movie. No, this is actual Formula One. They have a 5-year partnership that kicks off next year. So yeah, I did see a lot of speculation on this, especially like because Tim Cook was at some race or something. So I think that this could be big for Apple. This could be big for F1. Obviously, it kind of puts F1's name more out there. I didn't really know too much about F1 before I watched the movie, but that's when I gained a real interest in it. So
That's
yeah,
perfect because that movie is so successful. This is a great way for them to just bring that with their services. And just to be clear, it looks like as we speak that it's going to be included with Apple TV, the new subscription. So, and they will offer some of it for free, just so you know. So you don't have to have that subscription, though you'll be able to watch all the races. But this also includes, just so everybody knows, all practice, qualifying, sprint sessions, and Grand Prix. So that's going to be like, as a whole, everything. Now, I have a friend that really watches F1. He has the paid subscription through F1, and he has some questions that's a good question to ask. So F1 had some features where you could go and see like the racer's helmet view and some of the pit crew views and all this other stuff too. So, and hear the radio too. So I'm wondering if that's going to happen with this. So we'll see when this comes out in the summer, and I'm excited for this. This is kind of a cool thing. I mean,
Indeed.
you're talking about cars that are probably going the fastest of any racing vehicle that we have, right? And they're going super fast. So it's kind of cool to see this. I mean, and the tracks they do is really cool. It's all over the country sometimes, and it's really kind of neat to see this. So just so you guys know, this is now with Apple TV, and it's a good partnership. I'm glad for them. All right, that's all we want to say with that one, I guess.
Okay. The next topic is more of a rumor. We're talking about it's not the Vision Pro. It's more of like glasses, Adam.
Yes.
If you would
like the Ray-Bans for Meta.
Yeah, like the new
Meta
Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
Apple has been rumored to be coming out with glasses for years now. Like I'm
yes,
talking. It's been a while.
Before I even knew Quasi.
This is true.
Easily.
Way before then, actually. Like,
yes.
I was hearing rumors about this in 2012? Like it's been a while.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why it's not here yet. Like, that's the thing. There's nothing that we see from year to year when we see that this is coming soon that or a reason behind them delaying things. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's going to use Apple Intelligence and it's just not ready yet. That could be part of their entire issue.
Perhaps.
But just say that. Just give us something,
For the amount of years that I've been waiting for this.
I know. So, and we're going to piggyback this with another topic. Some releases that Apple did just last week. But yeah, what we did not get this event. We had so many different rumors and expected devices come out in Apple's last event that we didn't get. And it's still rumored that we're supposed to be getting these devices before the end of the year. I do not know when that's going to be because history kind of states with Apple that they have the September event, October event, and that's about it.
Right.
So I don't know when they're going to squeeze in one more, or if it's not going to be any event. It's just going to be hey, you wake up one morning and there they are, like we've seen with the Max that just came out.
Yeah.
But we're kind of go through some of these rumors that we still are waiting for, and what's coming in the future. It's not too much, but the first one, as Quasi was mentioning, is the Apple AR glasses. So kind of like Meta Ray-Bans,
right,
or the Oakley ones, or it's one from Google, is there not?
Is there Google Glasses? Wait, it might just be called Google Glass. I do remember hearing about that. Yeah, Google Glass was a discontinued. They don't exist anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we heard about it. And there's other brands out there to make things for this as well. But in any case, it's supposed to be like a Vision OS kind of experience for two different models, which I'm excited for. But here's the thing, Quasi. We know what the Vision Pro and the Vision Pro 2 cost, which is the same.
Right.
What do you think these are going to cost if you speculate Apple's pricing and models and stuff for what they're going to do?
I think it's going to cost something that's going to hurt your wallet. But realistically, it's not going to be it depends because it's not always the thickness of the device, or like iPads cost a lot less than iPhones, but that's because iPhones are packed with so much technology. Glasses have to be sort of thin, you know what I mean? So you have to pack a lot of technology into there. And because they're packing so much technology into such a tiny space, first off, it needs to be over-engineered, or maybe not over-engineered, but they need to do a lot of engineering. So that's R&D that you're going to have to pay for as a consumer. And then you're also going to have to pay for just, the Apple logo and the beautiful design. And, software engineers don't work for free. So you have to take that all into account. And I'm thinking that we're going to be looking at somewhere around dollars ish. So I don't think it's going to be.
$5,000. You think
Yeah, I
so?
don't think it's going to be less expensive than the Vision Pro. I think it actually would be maybe not 5,000. Sorry, let's do 3,700. Let's do 3,700.
3,700.
I
Okay,
do think it's going to be more expensive than the Vision Pro.
look at the price point now for competitors, and then really the only we see that's a big one is Meta Ray Bans, and they're about
Okay,
350.
those are about 350.
So I know they are not offering what these glasses will offer, right? And maybe we don't know. That's the thing. We are speculating 100% here. I have to imagine there's going to be like a Vision Pro experience kind of with it. I think there's going to be, you can see stuff on the glass itself and maybe like an AR mode as well. And there's going to be some cameras, of course, with it and Apple Intelligence and most likely options for LTE so you can call people. I'm going to speculate a far reduced number than that. I'm
What
going
are you
to say it's
thinking?
going to be $750 to $1,000.
Okay.
And this is before prescription, mind you. That's going to be another fee, I think. But I will say with Meta, though, that prescription is a far less cost than I ever expected them to ever do.
How much
It's
does it
like 50
cost?
bucks. I think it's like $50 to $100 extra to get your prescription added to the glasses.
That's still
That's
almost a third of the cost of the thing, though.
Yeah, but like look at like what it costs for glasses. Like I've seen people drop $2,000 on prescription lenses, like for glasses, just the lenses, not even the actual glass itself. Like it's crazy.
That does sound kind of insane.
So yeah, that beyond that cost of this, because I imagine there's going to be here's more questions. Are they going to have like a glasses experience, like people that wear glasses, or sunglasses kind of experience? Like what we see for rumor pictures is it's more of like a clear glass with no glass experience and not sunglass mode. If that makes sense. Or they're going to be transitions, or there's all these questions that we still don't know yet. But
Right.
my assumption, because you got to keep in mind, the Vision Pro has way more space and way more functionality. This is going to be reduced Vision OS basically because it's not. I mean, look at this the space you had to put. You just can't.
Yeah,
The
you
Apple
can't do it.
Watch. Apple Watch is the closest comparison for space and for a small tech that makes sense. So I think that this price point is going to be closer to $750 to $1,000. That's my assumption. Now I could be
Okay.
wrong. Quasi could be completely right, but do you think people are going to flock to AR glasses that are dang near the cost of a used car?
Ugh.
You know,
No.
the only thing is this: some people might say yes because that's what they want to have for their main glasses because they use glasses. That's a difference. Vision Pro, no one needs a Vision Pro to survive. If that makes sense,
This
right?
is
Well,
true.
hopefully they
I hear
don't.
all the time that Vision Pros are just sitting in drawers somewhere. So,
Yes, as said, I think it's last week. They love them. It's a great device, but it's in my drawer. That's the issue we see with them. I mean, I think it's because of the practical use of a Vision Pro, even the Vision Pro 2, is just not there. Like, if I had one right now, I might use it twice a week to play some, I can't say play some games. For the VR experience, I would mostly use that device hands down if I'm going to be watching a movie, just by myself.
yeah,
Like in a plane or something.
I can't say the same. I just don't think I would even have time to use a Vision Pro in my daily lifestyle.
I think if you had one right now, you just bought one today, you would make time because
Yeah,
that's $3,500.
If I bought one, it's being used every day. I'm going to use it for 3,500 days in a row so I can make my money's worth. Vision Pros are
It's
expensive, dude.
They are, but at the same time, they are tremendously well made. I
Speaking of
mean,
which, did we talk about how the Vision Pro kind of got updated and they didn't say anything about it? Well, that's not true. They said something about it, but
Not much at all, did they? It's
they
literally like a chip upgrade with some
yeah, that's all
internals.
it is. And then there's a new dual net band. And
Which
that's
there's
all.
a firmware update for. Did you know that it has a firmware
I
tied
did,
to it?
I did not know that.
I did not know that
I
either
just
with the
did
original
not think
Vision
that
Pro.
was I didn't think that was a prerequisite of something that just attaches to your phone. Or not your phone, to your Vision Pro.
Unless in the software side you can literally like have it tighten from the software. I don't know why you would need any type of firmware with it. I unless they're going to use in the future that to do a battery pass, if they have that like a built-in battery to it. I don't know.
Perhaps. I don't know.
There's just good questions. Any case, though, one other thing that we're seeing from Mark Gurman too, Quasi, is the H3 chip with AirPods 5. Now, do you think, here's a question for you, Quasi. Do you think that the AirPods is a product from Apple that merits a upgrade every year?
An upgrade every year? Okay. So my thing is, I won't upgrade my AirPods every year. Like for the consumer, it doesn't make sense to upgrade every year. I know people who are still running off first generation AirPods, and they're just fine. Except they're really not just fine because they don't have noise cancellation. Not the AirPod Maxes. Those aren't first gen, obviously. But I mean, they're
These
first
are
gen
first gen.
Maxes.
First gen AirPod Maxes.
They're first gen Maxes, but they're not first gen AirPods. I think if you have any AirPods Pro, specifically the AirPods Pro 2, you won't need to be upgrading for a while. But if are you saying if Apple should upgrade them every year? I think not really. I think
I agree.
each model could be on a 2-year life cycle, like how the AirPods Pro have been. AirPods
They
Pro
could
do
even do
not
a
upgrade every year.
3-year. Really?
Yeah,
I mean, look
because
how long it took them to upgrade the Maxes. And all that really was a USB-C change. That's about it.
yeah, that was
Because here's the thing. Headphones are one of those things where if you get a good pair of headphones, you don't change them for a long time. It's like
unless you
speakers for a
lose
home
them.
theater.
That's
Unless
really
you
the only
lose them.
time.
But, and I'm not saying that what they have sucks. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is they're really good. And I'm not saying don't develop stuff for future products. I'm saying that when you do this, like the AirPods Pro 3, is it that enticing that you just have to get them unless you lose them? If you have the Pro 2s, I could see you have the Pro 1s. Okay,
Right.
Pro 3s are going to be worth it, perhaps, right? Or just get the Pro 2s. But like realistically, I don't think personally that we need to see a new version of this every single year. I think that what they should do is hold back. They have other devices that are yearly upgrades that make sense. And just maybe do these every 3 years. That's what I would say. 3 years is a good time because that would give a great update to what they're going to do. Because I don't think headphones in general are updating that much. And people are like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to the new ones. I had the ones from last year. I must get these new ones.
Okay, but like
There's
with
not
the
that
AirPods this year, I think that because when's the last time they upgraded the AirPod Pros? I think it was 2023. And then now this year, or not 2023, 2024 was the year I graduated. And this year it's like the end of 2025 now. What am I trying to say? There's a new heart rate sensor. And that new heart rate sensor could be a reason to upgrade. Like I was talking to my brother. He was like, "Yeah, I heard that the battery life's a little bit worse, but I really want that heart rate sensor." And I have an Apple Watch. I don't need another heart rate sensor. But he doesn't have an Apple Watch, and he really likes AirPods, so that might be great for him.
The issue with I see with this though is that's a nice feature of an AirPods, right? But that
Right.
requires you to get an accurate reading of your heart rate to where there's all the time. And for me, this is I guess with headphones for me. If I wear any of your headphones for a very long time, my ears hurt. And I think it's because of the lack of airflow or maybe the waves of that it pushes out or whatever the case. I think that that's just for me what hurts over time. So to have this is going to imply you're going to wear them more often. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't or whatever. What I'm saying is, for those who don't already, is that feature worth it? It's nice if you're gonna listen to some music on the way to your car or if you're working out, whatever. But like for the rest of the day, where you're at work or you're with a family, are you gonna put the headphones in all the time? Like that's the question I say, is this feature worth having? And like were we as a consumer base saying I have to have a heart rate sensor in my AirPods? No,
Mm.
I think what people are wanting for headphone experiences better quality audio, which I'm not saying these are not good, but that's what the people are wanting: better quality audio, noise canceling, and maybe a longer battery life. That's kind of the three top things that headphones people want. Would you say is that accurate?
I mean, yeah, but like, I feel like with me, I wear my AirPods all the time. Like, I think it's kind of hard to see me without AirPods, but I don't get uncomfortable like some
And that's
people.
just me. I'm not saying
I don't think
I
it's just
wish
you
I
because
could wear them longer.
I've heard other reviewers say, yeah, they fall out of my ears. Yeah, they're kind of uncomfortable. Yeah, the pressure in my ears builds up. I don't have that issue, and because I don't have that issue, I think AirPods are one of the greatest inventions of this generation.
Oh, they're not bad at all. And I'm not saying that. I think everybody's like ear placement and all this other stuff is different in the sense that maybe you can wear them where you can get airflow at the same time and it's not an issue for you. It's just for me, that's just my thing. So like I wear shocks for a lot of different things too because my ears are completely open and I can still hear things, but even that hurts my ears after a while. It's just one of those weird things. It's just me.
Right.
What I'll say is though, I still think Apple could hold off on the yearly upgrades for AirPods because that's probably the smallest amount of changes in the product that we see that Apple offers, right? Besides maybe their cords. That's about it. So, like,
Well, I don't
I'm
know
not saying
what.
it's terrible. What I'm saying, though, is maybe give it a couple years to give, like, 4 or 5 new features that are really compelling to buy. That's what I'm more
Right.
saying at.
Okay.
So,
I think I get that.
next one. This is something I really thought we were going to get in
Yeah,
September,
he was looking
Quasi.
forward to an event, and we didn't even get an event. Last week we were
Yeah.
like, okay, if Apple wants to have an event, they have to put it out by this time, and then Apple was just like,
No
what a
event.
bunch of
Just,
losers. We're just gonna put it out in spite of them and not have an event. That's literally what they said at Apple.
yeah. Well, but this HomePod Touch, whatever it's going to be called, um, I don't know why that's delayed. I've heard nothing about anything from anybody. Why this wasn't? This is supposed to. I mean, there was people at Apple in stores and within corporate that had the understanding that this thing was coming out at the same time the October event, which is not an event. We didn't get that at all. But we didn't see this at all. I don't know why. This HomePod is delayed. It's turning into the Air Power, where it's a great concept, but it never happens.
Okay, but
I don't know. This
Apple
is
didn't announce this. Like we didn't get this from
they
Apple.
didn't. But
Apple actually
like,
announced the Air Power, and
I just want
it
this
just didn't
to
happen.
be a thing. This is a very nice device, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it. So I want this so bad. So if you don't remember what we're talking about, it's essentially like an iPad mini experience with a HomePod mini almost, a little bit larger than that, where it's like a smart home hub essentially. And you can use it to use Apple Intelligence, Siri, and control your home, which you can do with your phone and stuff now, but this is a dedicated device for that experience, basically. And we don't have it yet. It's estimated to be $350 and it had 2 different variations of the product. So we're waiting to see what that looks like. And it's really
Precisely.
only like 2 more things. Actually, one more thing. We didn't get it at all,
Wait,
and that's the new
that's the
Apple
name of our
Display.
podcast.
Yes, it is. That would be the Apple Display XDR. We didn't get that Pro Display XDR.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of things at this non-event, but amongst the most that I was most surprised by is definitely the new displays. Because how are you gonna announce the MacBooks and we're expecting new displays and you don't release the display? It's
But there
just
wasn't a new
what the heck?
studio though. The studio is what they really push that with.
Mm. Did you see a new studio?
No, there wasn't one. So I'm saying
Well, that's
because that's when they usually announce these is when there's a new studio.
mm.
and they didn't. That's not been updated in a couple of years at least too. So, but yes, we
The
want to
Mac
bring up
Studio? I think wasn't the Mac Studio. Hold on, let me just.
the Mac Mini came out recently, right? Not the Studio.
It has the M4 Max, so it definitely had to have been upgraded recently to have that
That's
M4
been
Max in it.
upgraded, but there's not like okay. There's a difference between here's just we're going to support newer processors in this, but it wasn't like mentioned in any events or anything. There
Right.
wasn't a press release or anything. They just kind of like, oh, by the way, here's this kind of thing, right? So they didn't really have an announcement for this, and that's when they show the Mac Studio with the ProDisplay XDR, typically. So yeah, it has M4, and they didn't update these for M5 yet.
Do
So
you know the
what are we
M3
talking about though?
Ultra Mac Studio can support up to 8 external displays? As if for some reason you would need 8 external displays.
He works at Pixar probably uses it. I'm guessing
I don't know who uses it, but you know what? Good on you for having
studios.
that much to do in your time.
Yeah, I would love to have that. I could utilize 8 easily.
I feel like if you gave me 8 monitors, I wouldn't even know what to put on 8 monitors.
Well, I could easily fill it up.
I could definitely do 3 monitors. I could easily do 3 monitors.
Oh,
8 is a lot.
research monitors. You could have your email in one. You could have YouTube play another one. You could have some games go another one. There's a whole bunch. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
not saying I would know right now what to do, but I can make it. I can do that. I can do
Yeah.
8.
Okay.
Just give me about 5 or 6 minutes. I can make 8 work easily.
Five or
Okay,
six
Quasi.
minutes.
To add to this topic, what did Apple release last week?
Uh, AirPod. No, sorry, I lied. Not AirPods. The Vision Pro,
Vision Pro 2.
iPad Pro, and then MacBook Pro. And the crazy part was none of these had any significant changes aside from the chip. Said that was included. Like I went through, and the only thing to note was literally that chipset change. And ooh, I lied. So the iPad Pro had Wi-Fi 7 instead of Wi-Fi 6E now. So, but the MacBook still has like the MacBook is one for one. The only thing that changed is the M5 chip is now in there,
And
and
it's
it's
the
not even an
base.
M5 Pro.
They didn't even announce the other M5. Now that needs to stop. Why can't like don't even announce? I think this entire soft event could have been just delayed, and I've been okay with that. I want to see new stuff, right? And I like what they have, but like I don't think anybody's like super excited for what got announced
Right.
because at least give me the M5 base Pro Max chip, and then I think there's gonna be an Ultra too, but perhaps from what they're saying. But I after the September event with Apple, I don't know if there's been a lot of excitement from what Apple's announced. It's kind of been
Well,
lackluster.
I feel like they haven't been building a lot of excitement. They just
Well, they didn't even mention there was going to be an October event. That was kind of like
yeah,
we'll let all
there was
the
speculation.
leakers say all that stuff for us. We're not going to.
And there was no event. So
Not even there wasn't even like a soft video event that you can just watch,
nothing.
right? It's just that's interesting to me. And is it
Well, it's
because they
because they
just
didn't
weren't as
have much
proud of
to
it?
show. If I didn't have much to show, I'm not going to waste everyone's time having an entire video. The M5 chip. The M5 chip doesn't even seem like it's that much of an upgrade, unfortunately. And
Supposedly
I
it's
hate to say
40%
that.
faster.
Then the M4?
M4 base, supposedly.
Ooh, where did you read that at? I need to. Perhaps I'm uninformed.
Pretty sure it says that when you go to the MacBook Pro pre-order. How about we left click instead of right click? Also, the little like teaser that they had where it's like a V version of the Mac, I don't
Right?
really understand that, to be honest with you. Is
The
there
one on
even
Apple's
like
website?
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that either. I mean, it looks cool.
I
A lot of
wish
typing
I could
going
just
on over
tell you.
there.
Oh, I I got a little mixed up. 15% faster performance, up to 30% for graphics. I got turned around a little bit.
Huh.
So it's a 30% ingress, and I got that wrong even. I thought that was performance. So graphics is a pretty significant increase,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
but 15% more for,
I
oh
mean,
my
we've seen
gosh.
we've seen more massive upgrades, like from the M2 from the M1.
Well, they didn't even mention this, and this is something they should have mentioned. It is literally 27.5% faster for memory bandwidth, with a total of
Yeah, I think the
153
general public
gigabits per
just doesn't
second.
care about that. I know you mean you
I
care
know.
about it.
I know, but
But
that's like if they could have mentioned. I don't know. They should have done a little more there. That was not as good as I thought they could have done. That's all I'm saying. Is it nice? It's nice. Like for me, that doesn't have any M series Mac. That's a good upgrade, but not for if you like the M4 Max. That's a way better chip, I think. Perhaps because that's a not good comparison at all. Any case, though,
wait, hold on.
Quasi,
Let me show you this wording.
please do.
It's right here. Right here it says up to 7 ports. I just think this is unfair to say because yeah, it has 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports or Thunderbolt 5 ports. I know mine has. I don't know what mine has.
What says or?
So
Why is
you're
there four or
it's either
five?
Thunderbolt 3 or you're either getting Thunderbolt 4 or Thunderbolt 5, depending on the one you purchase. And then you get an HDMI port, SD card, headphone jack, and MagSafe. I really don't
Whoa,
think
whoa,
MagSafe
whoa.
should be counted as a port, first off. This should not be counted as a port. Second, I feel like the wording here, because when I read this, I was like, wait, they're getting 7 USB-C ports? No, just 7 total
Three,
ports.
four, five. Well, they're not wrong though, because
They're not wrong, but
well,
they're
hey, headphone jack's back.
headphone jack has never left.
It did leave. The last MacBook, which is what Ethan has, not there.
How do you spell it?
MAC
Headphone.
Book Pro. Sorry.
No, except for the 12-inch Retina MacBook, according to Google AI. I'm pretty
Yours
sure
has
Ethan
it.
has the same MacBook as me, and mine has it. So
You have the M4, right?
I have the M3
He has
Pro.
M4. I think he has M4. I could be wrong. He says he has no headphone jack in his.
No, he definitely does.
Well,
I think
maybe he
you've been
needed just
played.
his. He looked like he was surprised actually when he didn't see one.
Hmm.
Any case, good ports. I like it. That's nice. I don't know why there's not only Thunderbolt 5. There should only be that. Gear Thunderbolt 4. It's no. Don't do that mixture of things. It's not necessary. Okay,
Agreed.
next topic. This one shocked me a whole bunch of a lot.
A whole bunch
Quasi.
of them. Okay.
Yes. And I want to bring this up because I was the one that really thought this is going to be a really good device. It still kind of is. It's more of a software issue. Can you bring up this? I want to kind of have you show this image of this article as I'm talking about it. Just kind of keep it up if you don't mind. I'm talking about the ROG Xbox Alley X, the anticipated best handheld console of the year without any hesitation. That's what everybody kind of thought it was going to be.
Okay, why can I not copy and paste this tab from Safari into... Bear with me, guys.
Quasi's going
It'll be
to
up
keep
shortly.
working on that. Anyway, I want to bring this up because this was a very challenging thing to see, and I was very upset to see this. So, this is labeled as a Xbox. Okay? Microsoft advertises as an Xbox. And Quasey's going to pull up the image of it. It's a handheld ROG Ally. Okay. Now, just kind of zoom in so all we see is just that image. And, like, a little bit more. Well, back up a little bit. Okay. There's the Ally X. Supposedly a phenomenal device. The specs are great. All this other stuff, right? And we like that. But what's really been people are so upset about, and a lot of people are returning it for this very reason. Quasey, how upset would you be if you bought this device, right? It's $1,000, right? And, like, okay, I have these games on Xbox, I'm ready to install them, and you just can't.
You know,
Ooh,
I'd be pretty upset.
what? Now, let me clarify some things. What they're saying is, because this is technically a PC, right? Not just an Xbox console, that games on the Xbox are also on the Xbox PC side of it, you can install. But
Right.
if you
The
just
ones that are
have a
just on
game
console.
that's not also on PC with Xbox, you can't. Then you
Isn't
have to
that
go
fun?
through the Windows 11 mode and go through maybe Steam or other places and then download that way. So that's hugely concerning. And I think I know why. This is my speculation. I have to imagine that when they had these agreements for licensing for the Xbox and the Windows version of it as well, that does not include the Ally. It did not ever include that because that's what they didn't have yet at all. So it's very hard to classify this as an Xbox when it's not what it is. It is a handheld PC. So if you bought a game on Xbox and you expected to play it on PC, unless there's a PC license with that, you can't do it as of right now anyway, unless you buy it on Steam or various other platforms. So this doesn't change that. That makes sense. But they really advertised it so heavily that you can play your Xbox games. You can't. Not all of them. You can only play games that are on PC too, which a lot of them are, right? But there are some that are only on Xbox. So that being said, that is a massive issue that people are seeing. Now, is it because the specs can't play? Absolutely not. This far beyond is exceeding expectations for specs. I mean, it's 24 gigs of RAM. It has a really good processor, GPU, the whole works. That is solid. But
Right.
realistically, it's a device that if you want a really, really incredible experience, you buy those games on Steam or your preferred PC store and play it that way and use Windows 11 and don't use the Xbox interface, which is not bad, but you're going to be disappointed when you can't play the games that you want to play. That's what I'm saying. So people are saying they have remorse of buying it because $1,000 is expensive. That I think to this day is the most expensive console that you can buy, right? Is there anyone that's more?
No, I think no, because that's more expensive than the PlayStation Pro, which is $800, I believe, and more expensive than the Xbox. Oh, not all digital. What's the 1 terabyte version called? Not 1 terabyte. You know what I'm talking about. The one with the little stars on it.
Yeah, I don't remember the name now. It escapes me.
Yeah.
But
Oh
well,
my,
with the tariffs, though, it's getting close to 1,000. And
this is true.
we have heard from an insider at Microsoft that the next console has been finalized, and it's gonna be over $1,000. Man, what happened to the days when you were younger and you went to go get a new console? It was like $500 to $600. Remember those days, Quasey?
No, I never had to pay for anything, so I
Well,
don't
okay,
remember
you know
those
the
days.
prices of these consoles at least, right?
I did. I
I
couldn't say
remember
that.
I bought my Series X to Microsoft. No, from GameStop actually. And oh my gosh, is it awesome. I love that device. But that was like 650, I think, for that one.
Six
So,
fifty.
yep.
Actually, with today's prices, that doesn't sound horrible.
No, because it's way more than that now. The same Xbox that I bought for 650 is now like over
Mind
$700.
you, there hasn't been a single upgrade. Just saying.
Nope. Nope. It's hard though. Here's the thing about gaming that, and I think that goes back to the PC master race versus console gamers, right? There's one advantage I will say every time with a console. If I buy an Xbox Series X or a PS5, every game for that console works on that console, right?
Right.
If I buy a PC, not every game on Steam or GOG or whatever platform you're using will play on my PC, right?
This is
Because you
true.
have to have the specs to back it up. So you might have a really nice PC with a graphics card that was great 2 years ago, but now you have to upgrade because it needs more power for these new games. Or you could be like me right now that has a graphics card that doesn't support Windows 11 25H2. You can't play anything unless you have a Steam Deck. And that makes me so mad. So, like, you have stuff like that. I have an Xbox too, I guess. But you have things like that where a PC, you can get overall better performance in every single way. But it's going to cost you a good chunk of change to get to that PC where you need to be at. And you have to constantly upgrade, I would say, at least every 2 years. At least the graphics card alone. I mean, there's just a lot of things you have to have. And as you see games get more and more powerful and more realistic, we're going to see those requirements get really crazy quickly. So that's going to be... So there's a balance. I like PC, I like consoles, I like my Steam Deck. It's just which one do you want to kind of favor towards and where's your budget for to accomplish this goal? So like that's why I really thought that these handheld devices were going to be the biggest middle ground of that, because you have the mobile experience, biggest thing. Secondly, you have the whole, this thing can play most games that are supported right now, and that's very true. And it's dang near as close to a PC as we get for performance by far. So if you use this device and you just use the Windows 11 experience and you just use like Steam or whatever, then it's an incredible device. But if you're expecting this to be, I get my games on Xbox and just start downloading it, you're not always going to get that.
Right.
That's the sad part. That's what I want to bring up.
And that's where the buyer's remorse comes in. Thank goodness I didn't.
Well,
not that I could have.
It would have been a shift in how you would have played it, is all it would have been. If I would have bought one, I would not have returned it. I would have just went to Windows 11 and used Steam. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, but I
which
feel
you
like
can easily
it's
switch
inconvenient. I feel like it's very inconvenient.
I don't think it is. It's like a button press to get to Windows 11. That's all it is. But you have a balance. You can do both. I'm not saying every game that you have on Xbox can't play, because obviously more and more games that are released now, they're smart and they'll make it available for PC. So there was an era where that wasn't the case, right?
Right.
And there's games that just are on console only. So I think that issue is not going to be a bigger issue in the future with it. So I don't think it's a complete waste of money. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is people were expecting, because of what Xbox said and Microsoft and ROG said in all their ads and their presentation, that you can play your Xbox games. They didn't say some. They didn't preface that. And they knew this before they announced it.
They played everybody.
That's the issue that I have with this. More than anything, is they advertised that you can play your Xbox games. Now, they didn't say all, so I guess they can say that if they really wanted to. People expected this with these specs to be able to play their entire Xbox library. That's what they wanted to see, and they can't. That's the issue. So, any closing thoughts on that, Kwesi?
It's really unfortunate. You know, I do think that it was a bit of a, I don't want to say cash grab or you got played by Microsoft, but I do think it was a little bit dishonest. They knew that there was going to be some limitations, and in advertising, they didn't even have like the little star at the very bottom in the fine print that says only games that are on PC, or at least not from what I saw. So that's really unfortunate, and it's slightly upsetting, but you know, you're still getting a great, like, you're getting the experience of playing mobily. You can play on the go, and you can play all the Xbox games that are on PC, which is a lot of them. There's a lot of them that are on both PC and Xbox, so it's not like you're getting scammed completely, but also it's kind of sad to see.
Yes. And I know we're running out of time, but we have one more topic of the app of the week. Kwesi, I want you to bring this up if you can. It's a big issue with Windows 11. Kind of a big issue. Kind of around the time that they stop supporting Windows 10, they're going to give this update. So, as you are, Kwesi. I could hear that in the other room. That was catastrophic.
I had a sneeze, whatchamacallit, built up, and just
okay.
There might be another one in the near future. I can definitely feel it still in my nose. But This looks interesting.
Yeah,
Wait, this is actually so much cooler than what it used to look like. It used to
it
just all be
doesn't.
blue.
That's not how it looks at all, though. By the way,
Oh, that's not how it's gonna look.
that's their modified version of it.
Then I
Yeah,
guess it's
it's
not
not.
cool at all.
It
It's
looks
just
cool
the same
there.
thing.
I'll say. Okay, what happened with Windows 11, Quasey?
Um, it looks like the Windows recovery environment is going to be changing. Now, if you don't know what the Windows recovery environment is, you clearly haven't had the blue screen of death. And lucky you. But basically what happens is your computer basically decides to crap itself, and then you start up your computer. It's like, Windows has had a problem doing XYZ, and then it gives you two options. One of the options is to just restart and hope for the best, and the other is actually fixing the problem. Now, if you restart and hope for the best and it goes through, hey, lucky you. Unfortunately, that's not really what happens. And it looks like there's more options here now. You have startup repair, startup settings, Windows Terminal. I don't think Terminal was there before. I could be wrong.
They changed command prompt to use terminal, which is a way better CMD, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I don't think that there was an option to uninstall updates or firmware settings. There was definitely a system restore, but it wasn't there.
System restore works about 20% of the time.
I'd say less.
Yeah.
You're giving it a lot of credit here, Adam.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna.
But see, when they break the option at this screen to use a keyboard and mouse, which is kind of like required to even use a screen, what a big issue that is. That's a huge issue. So here's the update as of today, Wednesday. It's still not fixed.
Oh, that's fun.
When was this article posted?
Let's take a look here. 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
Which was Monday, I guess.
Okay, I will say this. What if they couldn't just...
Oh, wait, I just completely missed the biggest part. Like you just said, you can't use your keyboard and mouse. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah. Which, at this screen, you have to use at least the keyboard to do just anything.
Yeah.
The mouse is convenient, but you don't have to use a mouse there. But, like, this is an issue. It's still an issue. Now, give them a little bit of break here. Maybe they couldn't do it because, AWS is down. That affected them too. I don't know.
Perhaps.
But it's still not fixed, and they probably knew about this beforehand. What I gotta say is, do some more R&D, Microsoft. I mean, this is breaking at specifically an issue like at your own OS screen kind of thing. So I just want to make people aware that if you have this update, which is KB5066835, you're not going to memorize it. I get that. But if you happen to get that update, you could potentially have no keyboard and mouse at the recovery screen of your computer. If you plug in an external one, it doesn't matter. It's just the drivers that make those work do not work. And they're still working on it. So making people aware of this at least. And I had to imagine before the end of the week, hopefully we'll get an update from Microsoft. This is fixed. So that's my last topic. Basically, I want to start the app of the week if you don't mind.
Yeah. So you said you want to start. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Mine is the original Plants vs. Zombies. And you might be asking, why am I bringing up a game that came out like forever and a half ago on iOS and other platforms? That's because, Quasey, tomorrow is the day, so Thursday will be the day that the new remastered version of this game comes out on Steam and various other platforms for $20. So it's one of those games when I was in college and stuff. I love the game. It's a tower defense kind of game if you want to put it that way. But it is so fun. And it's a great game. One of the great games from EA that I love to this day. So I pre-ordered it already. It's $20. It's pretty cheap. And I'm excited to play it tomorrow.
$20.
Hopefully it works. Yeah, that's all it is. The game, I think, originally was $30, I believe, if I remember correctly, from PopCap at the time, before EA bought them out. But, yes. And they're gonna have co-op in this game as well, which I'm crazy. We could do this together, if you just get it. So...
Okay.
It's cheap, though. Now your turn.
My app of the week this week is going to be Sora AI.
Ooh, yes.
I have to give it
Yes.
credit. The other day, I saw a video on TikTok, and I may or may not have believed it until I
It's
saw the
so
Sora
good.
AI logo. And I was like, wow, Lord have mercy, I'm getting scammed this year. I'm 100% getting scammed this year. So just because of how good AI has been getting, Sora AI gets a shout out this week.
Do
And
you have
actually,
it?
I do have the app. And actually, the app itself is like its own little social media thing. So that's pretty cool.
Do you can you just use it right off the bat? Or did you have to do like an invite?
Well, I had Brendan invite me, but then I didn't even use the invite. I just kind of used it off the bat.
I invited you before Brendan did, by the
No,
way.
you didn't. No, you didn't.
Okay. Are you
Brendan
sure?
invited me 6 hours before you did.
Oh, 6 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll chat with him. No, it's okay. No, it's weird because I didn't get an invite. It says you couldn't use it, and then I just went back into it and started working. I got some type of, I don't know, it started working, so then I got 6 invites, so I sent them out to people.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay,
Well,
I know you have to get going, Queasy, so we
I
have to wrap
do,
this up.
unfortunately.
It's okay. We're over an
Yeah,
hour anyway, so we should wrap this up anyway.
barely.
I know.
The episode might not be over an hour when I get finished editing it.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Okay. Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening to us today. If you have any questions or
Subscribe!
comments, subscribe. Absolutely. Subscribe on YouTube as well. Don't forget about that. We're on YouTube as well. And every platform except one for podcast apps. One just no one uses it anyway, so it's okay. But in any case, and we have some big plans coming up too for the podcast that we're
Indeed.
working on. So
Stay,
thanks guys for
keep an
following
eye out.
us. Yes, have yourself a fantastic day, and we'll see you later.
We'll see you guys next time.